3. So we're gonna discuss the first free response questions, and we're gonna discuss question number 5 on release FRQ 2018, number 5. So the problem says let f be the function defined by f of x is equal to e to the power of x cosine x. And then we have question A. Find the average rate of change on f on the interval from 0 to pi. Okay, we're gonna have to solve for the rate of change, average rate of change. So what is your idea about average rate of change, guys? Last time I give you, where is it? Okay, what is average rate of change? So we have so say it again, what is average rate of change? So we are doing question A, right? So what is that average rate of change?
1 over b minus a.
Huh?
That's why I put this.
That is average value.
Yeah, bro.
But average rate of change is f of
B minus f of a.
b minus f of a over b minus a. So we say f of b minus f of a
I'm switching that.
over b minus a.
Leg so chop.
Okay, so which means our a is 0 and b is pi, and we have this function f of x is equal to e to the power of x cosine x. Clear, guys? So which means we say f of pi minus f of 0 over pi minus 0. Okay, can you follow? So, which means we're gonna plug in right here. So we say f of, we have e to the power of pi, then cosine pi minus e to the power of 0, and then cosine 0. Okay, over pi, right? Okay, before I continue, feel free to ask questions, clarification. And next, what is cosine pi?
Cosine pi is 1.
Negative, right?
It's negative 1.
Negative 1.
It's a full 180.
Okay, guys. So, this implies now e to the power of pi times negative 1, and then minus e to the power of 0
1.
is 1. Okay, and then what is cosine 0? 1. So which means this is 1 times 1. Okay, can you follow? Over pi. Over pi. So, simplifying further, this is now equal to negative e to the power of pi minus 1 over pi. And this is the answer.
Nice.
So this is now the average rate of change of the interval from 0 to pi. Unless you have questions, please let me know. Don't be shy, guys. This is the right time for you to ask questions. Okay? Danny, are you okay?
Yeah.
Can you copy down now the solution? Everybody has the solution?
Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody say aye.
How about you, Chris? Done? You can start writing A right here. Okay. Any question, Cleo? No question?
Question in the corner.
Yes, Joseph. You don't have paper?
He's just really with
Who else doesn't have a paper?
Man, Joseph Chop.
Hey.
Colorblind, Joseph?
Okay. Can I erase now? Letter A. So.
I was gonna base that as spray paint up
So moving on to the next question. So we do question B. Diego, can you read the problem for me, please?
So let the f be the function defined by f of x equals e to the power of x cosine x. Find the average rate of b. Or what is the slope of the line tangent to the graph of f at x equals 3 pi divided by 2?
So which means we're solving for the slope of the given function f of x is equal to e to the power of x times cosine x, and evaluated at x is equal to 3 pi over 2. So the given function f of x is equal to e to the power of x times cosine x. So which means, what is your idea about slope? Slope means derivative, right? So we take the derivative, and this is to be evaluated at x is equal to 3 pi over 2. So evaluated at x is equal to 3 pi over 2. Okay. So we take now f prime. So f prime of x. So derivative, right? So what you notice on the given function, what rule can we apply? We have e to the power of x and cosine x. What rule can we apply for this one?
Use up?
Use up,
I thought it was chain rule.
chain,
No? Power?
power.
Product?
It's product rule.
Oh, damn.
Product rule applies. F times g prime plus g times f prime, or we say it in layman's term as the first times the derivative of the second plus the second times the derivative of the first. Okay, so we say f prime. So the first is e to the power of x times the derivative of the second. Derivative of cosine is negative
Negative sign.
sine. Okay, so negative sine x. And then plus the second, which is cosine x, times the derivative of the first.
It's just e of x.
So just e to the power of x and then still differentiable. So what is the derivative of x? It's just 1, right? So I just say e to the power of x. Okay, and what's next, guys? Can we plug in right away? It says evaluated
Yeah.
at
X equals
x equals 3 pi over 2. Okay, so we now say f prime of x is equal to e to the power of 3 pi over 2, and then times negative sine of 3 pi over 2. Looks like 8, but that is 3, okay? So this is 3 pi over 2, and then plus cosine 3 pi over 2, and then e to the power of 3 pi over 2. So what is 3 pi over 2, guys? Hmm?
E 3 pi over 2?
Yes?
Can we just leave it E 3 pi over 2?
Huh?
Can we just leave it E 3 pi over 2?
No, we're gonna have to take the value of 3 pi over 2. So what is 3 pi over 2?
1.5.
Sine 3 pi over 2.
Negative 1.
What is sine? Yeah, negative 1, right? So negative 1. So we have, this is now e to the power of 3 pi over 2, and then negative, and then negative 1. You get me, guys? Is this clear? So negative sine 3 pi over 2, but sine 3 pi over 2 is negative 1. Clear? Okay, and then plus, what is cosine 3 pi over 2? It's gonna be 0. So that means whatever it is multiplied by 3 pi over 2. So can I just leave this as 0?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Can I just cross this out? So this is equivalent to 0. Clear, guys? So what is our final answer right here now? We have, this becomes positive. This becomes positive, right? So our final answer would be e to the power of 3 halves, 3 pi over 2. So this is f prime of x. Any question?
No.
No question? No pregunta? Okay.
So majestic. Look at this work.
So this is non-calculator, okay? So you're gonna have to show your work in the actual free response questions. But this coming May, this is the first time that you are going to take the free response questions online and also the multiple choice. So both AP Calculus and AP Pre-Calculus.
Mr. Roy, why do they make math online? Like,
I have no idea.
do you like it better on paper? I do.
I like it better on paper. Okay?
It's online this year? It's online this year?
Yes.
No. This graph, the graph.
I still like the paper and pen test compared to online, especially on this one.
That's after the test, yeah. If you pass all the multiple choice, you gotta do.
Oh yeah, how are you gonna show your work?
Can you just do Google practice online? I don't know. I have no idea also because this is the first year of the implementation of online exam, right?
So it's like it's 3 points, but that means
Online
we're
AP.
the easy though, right? Because we're in the experiment, so it's either really hard or really easy.
The curve's gonna be just
The curve's gonna be crazy.
They're gonna give us a little drawing tab.
Okay.
Oh.
They better give us like a pen.
They better give us a drawing
I wanna have that and then you know.
Like, they give you an iPad with that. Because it's like your work is like 3 points.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Shall we move on now to question C? Now, in the actual AP, the entire problems A, B, C, and D is worth 9 points. Okay, 9 points. There are 6 free response questions. So each free response question has a corresponding letters A, B, C, or A, B, C, D. So the 9 points is being prorated. It depends on how difficult is the problem. So sometimes they gave only 1 point for question A or 2, or sometimes it depends on the AP, the college board. Okay, so as long as each problem total 9 points, and there are 6 questions, so 9 times 6, which gives you 54 points. Okay, 54 points. And for multiple choice, there are 45 questions, and each question is worth 1.2 points. 1.2 each question. So can you multiply 1.2 times 45? Will it be 54 also? 54, right?
Wait, 1.2 times 45.
Okay, so 54 for 54 points for multiple choice plus 54 points for free response question. So a total of 108 points. But for you to get a score of 5, does not necessarily you have to get a perfect score of 108. I think it's gonna be along 75 points. If you reach 75 points, guaranteed you have a score of 5. Okay, so it's easy to pass the test.
If you can get 54 right, you know, theoretically, if 1.08 is the 1%, if you get 40 questions right, or 40%.
Okay,
So you need to get 43 questions right, you get 3.
so I think if you score like 35 above, 35 guaranteed that your score in the actual result for the AP is 3. Okay,
That means you need to get like 30 right.
so shall we proceed now on letter C?
Calculate the launch point from the Apollo 11 mission. And get the surface area from the launch point to the
It's
land.
gonna be all symbols. You don't name numbers, it's
Dude,
symbols.
it's gonna be all words.
We go in the first question, didn't even learn any class.
So
The effects of gravity.
you have letter C, guys.
Use gravity is 9.8.
So Diego, can you read letter C, please?
I'm looking at
Find the absolute minimum value of f on the interval from 0 to 25.
Okay, so it's asking on absolute minimum. Therefore, what is your idea about minimum? Absolute minimum.
it's absolute, so it's
Remember, we're gonna have to plug in
the least.
on the critical points, right? We're gonna have to. So, which means minimum is whatever is the least is the minimum.
Correct.
You get me? The least value is the minimum, and the greatest value is the maximum. So it's asking on the least value.
So 0.
Minimum value is the least value on the interval from 0 to 2 pi. So that's the interval. Okay, it says find the absolute value and then justify your answer. So how we justify this one? So as I said, absolute value is the least value. So what we do now is to solve for the candidates, right? So what are these candidates? So meaning we're gonna have to apply first derivative of the given function. So as I said, the given function is f of x is equal to e to the power of x cosine x, right? So we take the derivative. Okay? Clear, guys? So we have now f prime of x is equal to the first times the derivative of the second, negative sine x, plus the second, so cosine x, times the derivative of the first. Okay. And then, what we do now? What's next, guys? We're gonna have to simplify, right? We are simplifying this into, what do you think is common? What is common, guys? E to the x is common, right? Hello?
Yes.
So e to the power of x is common. So we're gonna factor out common, which means this is, can I just arrange first? I'll do cosine minus sine.
Yeah.
Is it possible?
Yeah.
Okay, I have to arrange. So I'll write first cosine x minus sine x. Okay. And then, what's next, guys? Equate into 0. Okay. We're gonna equate into 0, which means e to the power of x. And then, can I just write cosine x minus sine x? Okay. So which means e to the power of x is equal to 0. Okay, and then we're gonna split this one. So the next is, we have cosine x minus sine x is equal to 0. So what is this? It's gonna be 0, right? So first value of x is 0. And the other one, since this is equated into 0, we can say now cosine x is equal to sine x. Now, from 0 to 2 pi, in which value that the cosine is equal to sine? Say it. And what particular pi radian? That the cosine and sine are equal. Isn't it equal at, on the first quadrant, where it is equal? Is it equal at pi over 6, pi over 4, or pi over 3? Pi over 4. That means in degrees, that's 45 degrees. Right? They are equal to each other. That's sine and cosine. But these are all equal. Do you get me? Where else?
Oh, you need another one. I thought
Where else?
I thought we needed
Aside from quadrant 1,
Cosine and sine are equal. The AC unit.
we
When you turn it on.
need minimum value though.
are cosine and sine equal in quadrant 2? Yes or no?
No.
You're not. Because one is positive and the other is negative.
Oh,
How about in quadrant number 3, are both cosine and sine equal to each other?
If they're negative.
Yes, they are. They are equal to each other. So, can you imagine now? Quadrant 1 and quadrant 3. Okay? So, therefore,
Diagonally each other.
yes. So, which means
Look at us being fucking dweebs.
there are two values of x
I got it wrong.
that they are equal to each other.
Yeah.
So, we can say
But we need
they are
to get
equal
the value,
at
so we need to get the one that's
pi over 4. And where else? At 5 pi over 4.
Yeah.
Okay? So, 5 pi over 4. So, what are the candidates? How many candidates do we have?
3.
It's not 3.
3.
E to the 0 is just 1.
No, but then you put ln to bring down the x down. And ln of 0 is 1.
Chris Ramirez.
Oh, he's not here.
Oh, yeah.
Not here. Okay. So therefore, what to do? Is 0 part of the interval?
Try.
Hold on, guys. Is 0 part of the interval?
Yes.
Yes. How about pi over 4? Is pi over 4 part of the interval? Guys, listen first. How about 5 pi over 4? How about 2 pi?
Correct.
So within that interval. So these are how many candidates, possible candidates do we have?
3.
0. What else? Pi over 4. What else?
Pi over
And then 2 pi. And what we do with that? We plug in. Plug into the given function to the f of x. Okay.
Big bro looking good.
So, can I continue right here?
Half my feet is funny. I believe spring break is up.
So we say f of 0, right? These are, so what's next? F of pi over 4.
I think we should have a senior ditch one.
And what's next? F of 5 pi over 4.
Senior ditch one.
And f of 2 pi.
We get banned. We get lobby. We get.
This is still part of question C. Okay? So what is f of 0?
0.
No.
1. 2.
It's going to be 1. Why? What is e to the power of 0? 1. What is cosine 0? 1. 1 times 1.
1.
It's going to be 1. Okay. Now, is 1 a minimum or a max? That, we don't know. We don't know yet. Okay? We don't know. Next, pi over 4.
Yes.
Pi over 4. What is cosine pi over 4?
Radical 2.
Hmm? Radical 2
Over 2.
over 2. So we
You're a
say
good boy.
Okay.
e to the pi over 4
How do you calculate that?
times radical 2 over 2.
We're kind of hoping
Yeah.
that we get a negative,
Okay, next.
which we should.
What about 5 pi over 4? So we say e to the power of 5 pi over 4 times what is cosine
At
5 pi over 4?
negative radical.
Negative. So negative square root of 2 over 2.
That's the one, you hear me? That's the one.
Okay, next at 2 pi, which means this is e to the power of 2 pi times cosine 2 pi. What is cosine 2 pi?
0.
It's cosine 2 pi. It's gonna be 1. Okay, so of these 4,
Wait, so that means.
when we say minimum,
Yes.
oh, can you, Chris?
You get a. Touch it.
The mouse.
The lobby's broke.
I'm moving the mouse.
Removing the mouse. What
Chad,
happened?
I think we just got nuke chat.
It's not working?
Oh, it's turning on, it's turning on, it's turning on.
He's lying.
Okay, so
Mr. Roy.
Press enter, bro.
No, bro, it's a password down.
LUSD 2010.
Oh, grade book, grade book.
The following students, you're gonna have to go now.
Oh,
Josue,
there
He left.
Danny,
He left.
okay, Chris Reyes.
Oh, they left.
He big bro left, yeah.
Okay, so look at this.
I don't know what class it is. Oh, that's easy.
Which
That's
of these
easy.
four is minimum?
Should've joined us.
At 0?
I wanna get to know.
What is at 0? 1. What is at pi over 4?
Positive, positive.
Positive.
Yes.
What is at 5 pi over 4?
Negative, that's the one.
And what is 2 pi? So, which of this is minimum?
C or F of.
Okay, this one. Oops. So this is the minimum because this is negative, right?
Yep.
So
That's the
our
one.
final answer is at x is equal to 5 pi over 4 is the minimum. Okay? Minimum. So this is our answer. Minimum.
Still got D.
Any question on letter C?
From the air, bro.
Mr. Roy, Mr. Roy, is it possible if we could turn on the air conditioning?
Sure.
Thank you, bro.
It's not if my request.
Bro, it's there, bro. It's hot over there. Hey, bro, you want to be cold and hot?
Yes.
He's cold. He's cold. He's cold.
But that'd be cool.
My boy think it's cold.
Guys done? Can I move this up now? We're gonna do the last question for problem number 5, 2018 release questions. We respond.
Dude, I know he don't know what I do. I have fun thinking after because then I'm talking about bro, this is fun doing this. But then I can't on the 200-meter block. I'm not how we do that this year. Hey, I'm not running it if I'm gonna hit the 8th lane. If I could like lane 4, 3, 2. Me and him went to damn near the same time just because of lane. I had lane 3. The lane's full. So I'm running lane 4.
Tyler, can you read problem D, please?
Let g be a differentiable function such that g is pi over 2 equals 0. The graph of g, the derivative of g, is shown below. Find the value of limits f of x, g of x to a state that does not exist. This might be
So it's gonna be limit, right? So, given f of x is equal to e to the power of x cosine x. And then it says limit as x approaching. Where do the limit approaches? Pi over 2. Okay, approaches pi over 2. So, and you have the limit of the function f of x over g of x as x approaches pi over 2. Now look at the graph, guys. Shh. Look at the graph. Look at the graph here first. So this is a graph of G prime. Anthony, are you okay?
I'm amazing.
Okay. So this is the graph of G prime, right? Okay. So let's go first on f of x. Okay. So again, I'll do f of x first. I have the limit of f of x as x approaching pi over 2. what is that equal to? Pi over 2, 90 degrees, right? What is cosine 90 degrees?
Zero.
0. So therefore, it's gonna be 0 as x approaching pi over 2 on the f of x. So get me? Okay. I hope it's very clear. Because now, right here, because g is differentiable and g is continuous, right? Differentiable and continuous.
Not in that.
Okay? Again, g is differentiable and continuous.
Yes.
From
It's a sharp
this.
though.
It's a sharp, but
It's still continuous.
it's a continuous
Correct.
function. Okay, so
All types. His
why do you think I said g is differentiable? Because this is g prime, right? Okay, so because
I tried and I was like, that's not.
So you're the total.
Just for free.
g is differentiable,
They said I wasn't.
That would be drowning.
Oh. I don't remember. No.
and g is continuous. We now say the limit of g of x, the limit of g of x as x approaching pi over 2 is equal to g of pi over 2. Now look at the value of g of pi over 2. What is g of pi over 2?
2.
It's gonna be 2, right?
Correct.
2. A g of pi over 2 is gonna be 2. Okay.
Cosine x.
2 or 0?
2. Right?
Because this is g prime. What is that?
Also, is it 1? Is that 1?
It's gonna be 0. Okay?
2.
Remember this graph is g
Oh,
prime.
it's not G.
So it's gonna be 0. Now,
Can I get a fucking graph for G?
Exactly, bro.
what do you think
Oh my
is
goodness,
the
it says
rule
it's G.
that we're gonna do it here? Remember, look at this.
Oh my goodness.
People watching this video like,
Can we apply L'Hopital's rule?
Yes,
Yes or no?
yeah.
Yes, we can. So, what is, if we apply L'Hopital's rule, I'll just use the red color. Applying L'Hopital's rule.
That's the you know how we get
So, so we have the limits of f of x over g of x as x approaching pi over 2. Okay. What is the derivative? That means this is just the same as the limit of the function f prime of x, f prime of x over g prime of x. And what is f prime of x? A while ago, previous questions. What is f prime of x?
Sorry, I didn't know we were using that information.
E of 3 e to the
E to the power of 3 pi over 2.
Okay, so e to the power, negative e, right? Negative e to the power of pi over 2.
Yeah.
You get me? F prime, negative e
Yeah.
to the power of pi over 2.
3 pi over 2.
If we do L'Hopital's rule,
3 pi over 2.
huh?
Correct.
F of
It says
prime
pi over 2. What is f of x?
What else is it pi over 2? So you should look at the previous.
Oh no, we put in pi over 2 instead of 2 pi. She's asking us to look at the equation.
Okay.
Why are you telling me this now?
Because I just realized that.
So e to the power of pi over 2. And what is g of x? G of x right here, if you take the derivative, what is g of x right? This is g prime of x. What is g prime of x at pi over 2? It's gonna be 2. You get me? It's gonna be 2.
Is that the answer?
Is this clear?
Yeah.
Very.
Or you want me to show
No.
the f prime of x, which is this one?
Sammy wants you to show.
Okay, so can I have it here?
Yeah.
What is the given function?
EX.
Okay, so f of x is equal to e to the power of x cosine x. So we say f prime of x, the first times the derivative of the second.
Yes.
Okay, which is negative sine x plus the second cosine x times e to the power of x. Okay, shall we continue? This is now negative e to the power of, can we plug in now? Pi over 2. Pi over 2. But what is sine pi over 2? 1, right? 1. Okay, plus cosine pi over 2. What is cosine pi over 2? Nada. 0. So I'll just cross this out. So what is left now? F prime of x is equal to negative e to the power of pi over 2. Is this correct? Okay. And then derivative of g prime, the g prime of pi over 2. G prime of pi over 2 is 2. So this is the final answer.
Okay.
Money.
I'm pretty sure.
Any question, guys?